one of the reviews said if you go to your flat, your Airbnb, you see a PS5. You know that in Nigeria, Airbnb comes with the price. Now you don't get this sort of service anywhere in the world.
I don't know if there's a thing as an organizer of Dirty December. I just feel like it's just a fire that just caught everywhere. I mean, you have your club, you've got your sport, and then it all just comes together to be one whole big volcanic magic.
If I want to congratulate Detty December or whoever organized it, the volcanic, organic, thing that picked up,
Boom.
it's done it again, 2025. All right, welcome back. Happy New Year. It's the Right Direction Show. I'm here, Lace. Hi, B. How you doing?
I'm fine. Really glad to be here. Really glad to be back.
Great, great. You look wonderful. How was your holiday?
Holiday was quite good. It was quiet. I didn't do the Dirty December thing until I was here in the UK. Spent time with family. It was a little more intimate this year, but it was really good.
Yeah, good, good. It's the same for everybody. So generally, the only thing going on in December was Dirty December, and I don't know what reviews you've heard, but let me tell you what I've heard. See if it juggles, if it reconciles with what you've heard. People have complained about. Or let me start. I think it was a success because a lot of people went, especially in Lagos. I also heard people complain about how expensive things are. I heard about real poor customer service. I heard about bad driving habits. I heard about lack of medical, and people's preference. I heard about a lot of begging, and these things, and I finally heard this is not where you go and look for a husband or a partner, that you wouldn't find one. Is that what you heard?
So, I mean, I had a combination of both things. So, remember last Christmas, I think it was 2024 Christmas, it was
Yeah.
more about Ghana, right? And then the tides kind of shifted and it became Nigeria. So, apparently, 70% of the influx went into Nigeria and the other 30% went to Ghana. So, the
Okay.
light was shining on Nigeria this year. But definitely, in the beginning, there was a
Yes.
lot of, it was great reviews, everyone was talking about the food. Although the one thing I did hear was about the ticket prices around Nigeria. But afterward, that kind of watered down. But as people stayed longer, then all of these different themes that you just mentioned, started to come out. Like, especially people were very shocked about the food prices as well.
Okay. Okay.
So it was very expensive. And some price list I saw as well were like, what? And people were also talking a lot about it's all good and well until you fall sick, and then you're in the hospital system, and then it all goes haywire. So there were those, and also I heard a lot about the begging.
They said anything people do for you, they expect you to give them. They open the door for you, they say give money. Now I want to start before talking about the things that people heard. Um we i in a way, I think we've been here before with things like Afro Nation, things that are left to us to run and to build up festivals and stuff. So far, I don't know how many years Dirty December in, but the hype, what would you say about the management? You think it's been managed well, that more people would come next year and that the figures have increased from last year to this year, or you think that it's going down?
I mean, I think that Dirty December has always been a thing. It's probably not the way it looks like now. So it used to be about culture. It used to be about meeting with family. It used to be about tradition. It used to be about the tradition of all of us just meeting up back home in Nigeria.
Yes.
And then now I feel like it's kind of changed into consumerism really, and everything is so highly commercialized. And I mean, there were some aspects of it that were really good, which is just the whole party. And if you went to party, you would have had a good time. They would just copious amounts of parties. But then after that,
It's
to
changed.
me, it all just fell apart. So I mean, it's always been there, but with this, IJGBs now, the younger ones, their expectations are higher as well, and this is just so commercialized right now.
It's the point where you started from, saying normally people, the culture, people used to go back home, families meet in Nigeria, and you have parties here, parties there, parties, and now Dirty December seem to be trying to catch up with that word, Dirty December. It's about drinking, partying. It's almost
Yeah.
like Ibiza, but even worse because there's less control, within Dirty December. I as a brand, I think it's something that we have gotten right in terms of concept that Nigeria will become a place where you can go once a year and you can have a good time, hotels, things for you to do. But things like basic things, medical, good roads,
Yes.
this lack of begging,
Electricity.
electricity, extortionate prices, and do you feel those things have been looked at all? I mean, from what you have, they improved from last year to this year in terms of the things I just mentioned?
I don't think so. I think, it's pretty much just the market has just determined what the prices should be. And I think one of the ways that you see that it's not being regulated was the air ticket prices as well. If you
Okay.
remember, at some point, people were traveling to Benin, from Lagos to Benin, for 400,000 naira. It
Yes.
was crazy.
Yes.
And no one is looking at the reasons why this is happening. So, also because a lot of people were pushed onto people were trying to avoid the roads as well
Yes.
because of the road conditions. So
Kidnapping.
everyone was pushed, exactly, and the condition of the roads and just fear really. So then everyone got pushed to use the planes, and the flight prices were just ridiculous. No one is managing these things. Airbnb, for example, you hear ridiculous price like 250,000 a night, 150,000 a night. This is ridiculously expensive. And the other thing is, it's only happening in Lagos. So Abuja was extremely quiet. Port Harcourt was very quiet in terms of although the partying was there, but it's the commercialized aspect of Dirty December only happens in a very
In
small
Lagos.
location, Lagos. So I feel like it boosted our tourism, but the pressure was so much in Lagos. Did you see the traffic, by the way?
Suck all the fun away from.
So it needs to be now. All the other states need to start recognizing that this thing is now there and begin to build capacity in that way. So hopefully it begins to spread out to all the different parts
Different.
of the country. So it's not so much about Lagos, because I don't think it's balanced out when everything has to happen in a very tiny island in Nigeria. I feel like if we have to enjoy the benefit for 30 December, it really needs to be spread out across the country.
You have a point. And if we, in talking about the good things about the Dirty December, maybe we should come to that a bit. I believe the concept is a success. You're right when you say the concept needs to spread across, different states. But even if you look at the Rio Carnival in Brazil, if you look at different places, like even London, a lot of things take place in London that haven't, gone out, or it takes some time to perfect in London. And one of the reviews said if you go to your flat, your Airbnb, you see a PS5. That in Nigeria, Airbnb comes with the price. That you don't get this sort of service anywhere in the world. Or even if there's more hang-ups than good, I hope the authorities are trying to smoothen it out. This traffic is a problem. Spicy food is a problem. Unregulated prices is a problem. Begging is a problem. Lawlessness
Absolutely.
is a problem. Undermining the police is a problem. So when you watch some of these videos, you think some of these kids just go to Nigeria to undermine the police. They brag about bribing the police. There's videos that the police can't do anything to them. They've got foreign accents and they just bully the local police. These things need to be looked into. But sometimes I say we far out here, relying on third hand information. Is there anything we're missing, like the euphoria? If we were there, would we have this conclusion?
I mean, don't forget that the sentiments that you're hearing are from people who were actually there.
Yes.
I have a brother who's out there, and he said, "Look, the thing is that it's got a lot of good, and there's also the mix. It's a mixed bag, really." But I think everything that you've pointed out just sounds to me like, from a privatization point of view, from a business point of view, we are doing incredibly well. But there are systemic issues that only the government can solve. So
Okay.
you really can't build ex- an extremely incredible experience for people, this influx of people, if the system in itself is not prepared to handle the kind of influx or what comes with it. So I think going into next year, that's definitely something that we will need to be working on. And I even heard people say that they're not, they're not going back again. But I don't think it's going to be that bad. But whatever the case is, hopefully 2026 Christmas we will be ready.
Let's look at publicity, the sort of publicity the Dirty December gets. Besides the online bloggers, the local online bloggers, and the people we hear from, have they bothered to cut across the other side of the world to say, let us call some international observers to come and see what we have here in Nigeria. Let them be able to break it down, sell it to other people just besides, I don't know. It looks as if every year when it's finished, we get the same response. People who went, they do a couple online video, and that's where it ends. You don't get to see editorials. You don't get to see you don't see much after effects.
I agree with you to an extent, but I feel like a lot of what's happening is quite organic. So I'll give you an example, right? So I think we're not be beginning to, we actually have built a niche and a standard when it comes to fashion. A lot of people travel to Nigeria for 30 December and they come back with suitcases of clothes, like, because
Okay.
Nigerian fashion designers are doing very well, and that's become really well publicized news. Everybody knows about Nigeria now.
So you're saying, sorry, you're
I
saying
f-
Dirty
so I
December gives them opportunity.
so I feel what I'm trying to say is that even though we may not have leveraged using those branding opportunities that you just mentioned, say bringing international press to come in and have a look at how we do it and selling it out as something that Nigeria is could be really good at. I still feel like it is happening, but not at the scale
That
that we would want it to happen. But I feel like maybe it's a good thing because it might give us a chance to catch up infrastructurally before the whole world comes in and begins to expose all the different issues that we have. This is just a chance, but it's obviously to say there is definitely a lot of potential there. We have the music, we've got the food, we've got the vibe, we've got the energy, we've got the culture to keep people engaged, but we just need our government to catch up with where we're going. And I think, when you have those three things together, it's just going to be magic.
it's good. I've heard about Nigerian fashion, especially women fashion. The way it's going in Lagos, it's so well spoken about. So people are so satisfied with what's coming out of.
Yeah, and the hair.
Uh-huh.
We're doing well with hair, we're doing hair with makeup, and don't forget the music.
Okay.
And so those things, are all global trendsetters now.
Why does the organizers of Dirty December not spend the quiet period promoting these aspects that we have just highlighted? The good things, the fashion, the clothes that were discovered in like this 2025. People, you are not the first person to tell me that they call some names of Nigerian fashion designers, girls that some have diaspora experience, but mainly can express their passion in big platforms like Dirty December. All through the year, I think they should shine more spotlight on them, and they should use Dirty December as a bigger platform where they've exhibited, the gifts they have. Just a lot of consultation. But generally, I'd say congratulations to the organizers. Another great year. And as a Nigerian, if they tighten the edges, Lagos is going somewhere.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean, don't forget that I don't know if you saw it. There was a Nigerian Fashion Week. I think happened in November.
I was there.
In Nigeria.
Oh no, the
Oh no,
London
no, no. They
Fashion Week.
had it. They had it. Oh, sorry, Lagos. I don't know if it's Lagos Fashion Week or Nigeria. I think it was Lagos. It was phenomenal. Like people flew in, international stars. I think Sierra was there. So many people. So I think that but I saw that Lagos state government was also very much involved in the process as well. So there are, there's pockets of work going on. Definitely not at the scale that we're expecting, but there's a lot happening, yeah, especially in the theater space, in the fashion space again. But I think it could be better. I don't know if there's a thing as an organizer of Dirty December. I just feel like it's just a fire that just caught everywhere. I mean, you have your club, you've got your sport, and then it all just comes together to be one whole big volcanic magic. But at
It's
the same
working.
time, definitely we need an orchestrated effort to bring this all together, and that is something that the Ministry of Tourism definitely has
Need
to
to
be working on.
need to do, and I want to diversify. I want to congratulate Dirty December or whoever organized it, the volcanic organic thing that picked up. It's
Boom.
done it again. 2025.